Bars and restaurants, baby gear, apple skins, interior design scraps, EV chargers, and eco-totes. What do these all have in common? Well, they're all featured in my take on sustainable living, 5 in 5. 5 highlights in sustainable living, all in under 5 minutes. Hi everyone, welcome to the next weekly edition of Sustainable Living 5 in 5. I'm Douglas Sabo, or at Green Living Doug, across social media channels. And this is my next edition of highlighting 5 developments in the world of sustainable living, all in the last week or so, and all in under 5 minutes. Before I start, I did want to mention I did have the chance to attend the Plant-Based World Expo this past week in New York City. A lot of great innovation, a lot of different conversations and trends. I'll do some separate recapping of that, so stay tuned for that. But I do invite you to take a look at the conversations I was able to have with nearly 20 different innovators in the plant-based space. So please go to the Sustainable Living channel on YouTube. You can find it at Green Living Doug on YouTube, where you're probably watching this right now, and you'll see those video conversations, so give them a check. They're all terrific innovators in the world of plant-based foods. Okay, so let's start to move toward this week's 5 in 5. The Sustainable Life blog this week looked at various themes. We looked at sustainable food and plant-based in particular. We looked at the world of sustainable retail and recommerce, sports and outdoors, apparel and fashion, travel and tourism, as well as the beverage space, specifically in spirits and wine. So a great variety of topics to get to check out. If you do want to check out all of those, you can go over to greenlivingdoug.com, where you will see the collection of these posts of which I curated this from. And if you do like this theme of Sustainable Living 5 in 5, please go ahead and like and subscribe so that you can continue to follow these developments. Also, I invite you to listen and share your take on your highlights down in the comments. So please add in your thoughts of what stories really stood out for you this week and what developments in sustainable living. Okay, with that, let's go to the 5 in 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and start the timer, and let's see if we do a little bit better this week than my first attempt, which was 5 in 6 minutes. So we are going to aim for 5 in 5. Okay, and with that, we'll give it a start. Okay, the first story is in the world of plant-based food. Story out on plant-based sales in food service surging. So while retail sales of plant-based foods have been relatively flat, there was a story out, a new report from the Good Food Institute, sharing that plant-based food in food service, and that's defined as restaurants, think about corporate cafeterias, think about hospitals, think about higher ed cafeterias and food halls. Those sales are up 7.8% year over year, while retail was flat. So we do have a good report out. Why do I think that's significant? Well, as we look at how do we get more people to lean into the plant-based diet or plant-forward diet, food service is a great opportunity because it allows people to give it a try and to really express some curiosity. So I think stay tuned for more developments from some of those in that space, whether it's Sodexo, Chartwells, and others I've highlighted in the past. So check out that report, Good Food Institute, highlight number 1. Highlight number 2, 2 stories combined under the umbrella of the recommerce or sustainable retail topic area, but specifically in the baby and youth category. First, an announcement that Bumble Ride was joining forces with Rebel Stork to become the first stroller company to join Rebel Stork's recommerce baby gear marketplace. They're participating specifically in Rebel Stork's Relovable collective trade-in program. And the second story, similarly, this is over in the UAE. Second Gear has launched. It's a new online marketplace for pre-loved baby and toddler items, eliminating some of the uncertainties around online exchanges and secondhand, especially in a category like baby and youth. And so I think this just demonstrates, I picked it because it really does demonstrate opportunities in a wide spectrum of categories in recommerce. It's not just secondhand luxury. It's not just personal care product refill. There's a report, and I point you to it, the Rebel Store 2023 resale report, to give that a check. According to that report, parents spend $15,000 to $18,000 on a baby's first year. And so there is some opportunity through recommerce, both economic value back to the parents and for the next generation of parents, as well as planetary value. So give those two stories a look and that report as well. Okay, over in apparel, a couple developments in alternative or circular materials. Clay is a Los Angeles-based footwear brand, and they announced the Apple collection. These are new vegan sneakers using apple leather as a primary material. They use apple skin. It's an eco-friendly material from apple waste in the juice industry. A second connected story in similar vein, the company Reweave is a fashion brand, and it uses interior design scraps for luxury fashion. And they're expanding their collection out to shoes, streetwear, as well as a capsule collection. So both of these together, it's really about the continued innovation in materials in the apparel industry to reduce the apparel footprint, as well as in some cases to reduce the use of animals in clothing materials. So one industry's scraps, whether that's interior design or the juice industry, becomes another industry's material. So another inspiring innovation. Okay, item number 4. Electric vehicles. We often talk about electric vehicles and home use. Here, Hilton has announced that it will be installing 20,000 electric vehicle charges at 2,000 locations in the US, Canada, and Mexico because they need to meet the growing demand for overnight charging. Significant why? Well, mainly, it's helping address the continued key friction point to EV adoption around range anxiety and access to charging. We do often talk about the home access to charging or grocery store for your local daily use, but oftentimes people ask the question about the long haul travel, going on vacation, and how do I access travel and EV chargers during travel. So this news from Hilton, and I think we'll see more from other hospitality brands. Also, quick service restaurants along travel corridors. Also, opportunities for top-up charging or overnight charging. So stay tuned for more, but the more brands that launch this, the better it is for EV adoption. And the final topic in sustainable spirits, a feature, not a new news story or announcement, but a feature about Eco Spirits. That's a brand I have featured numerous times on the Sustainable Living blog. They're a 6-year-old startup. What they're trying to do is really address the abundance of single-use glass bottles in the bar and restaurant world of spirits and wine. There's inefficient shapes and sizes. So their approach has been to develop this circular closed-loop packaging system. It enables partners to really ship spirits in a more efficient bulk containers. So give them a look because I really like the continued innovation of really getting a whole industry to rethink its approach. According to them, they reduced their carbon emissions by 60 to 90% and reduced materials used to create the single-use glass packaging. So that was my highlight number 5. I think I went about 5 seconds over, but much better this week. Thank you. Those are my Sustainable Living 5 in 5. Again, in the comments section, please add what you saw as highlights this past week. Would love to check out those stories. And if you liked this content and want to stay in touch, then please like and subscribe. Again, I'm Douglas Sabo at Green Living Doug on Insta, on YouTube, on various other channels. Give it a try. LinkedIn is another one. So please check me out, like and subscribe. I'd love to stay in touch and hear from you. Take care, everyone.